Hi, everybody. It's Isabella Johnson, and I'm here with Geraldine. We're going to be doing a new case today. Geraldine, you want to tell us a little bit about who this is for?
Sure. I did want to say before we started that any and all readings that we do are alleged for entertainment purposes only, and that anything discussed in this is opinions of Isabella's and mine. So this case is Summer Wells. She was age 5 when she went missing, and she has been missing since June 15th of 2021.
That's a long time for that age child.
Right.
Okay. So we'll kind of do this much like I do the other readings that I do. I will not make a lot of eye contact with the camera. Looks like I'm looking around. I may close my eyes a little bit for this. I'm just going to start from the beginning. And Geraldine, I think, has some information about this family or child. So she should be able to validate a little bit of what I'm getting. That's the hope anyway. Right, Geraldine?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm kind of scribbling notes as I do this. So just bear with me for a second. First thing I'm getting is just family really dysfunctional. I feel there might be some alleged drug use. I'm getting drug use. I'm not even going to go alleged. I think there's drug use. I don't know if there's employment issues with the family, feeling some poverty, kind of sketchy backgrounds. I mean, that's harsh to say, but it kind of feels like there's not a lot of stability in this family. Feels very rural to me, just very, very, very rural. Geraldine, is this a very rural location, like tiny town? That's since like very tiny town. Are you able to confirm that?
Yes, it's very rural where she lives.
Almost like, are there mountains, woods around this area? Because it feels like I can be plopped down in the middle of the woods almost.
Yes.
Okay. Feeling a lot of land. I just don't see neighbors or feel like there's a lot of neighbors around here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting other children in the home. Yeah, I don't know if there's another female, but I'm definitely getting males. They feel older. Is there a younger child, or are they just all older? Was Summer the youngest?
Yeah, I believe she was the youngest, and then there are 3 other children, and I believe they're older than her.
Okay,
all
so
of them.
So she would be the baby, because I could just keep hearing somebody go, "Oh, the baby, she's the baby," something like this. I really just get a lot of inappropriate or adult behavior done around everyone, all the minors in that home. So maybe if you talk to family members, they might not feel that anything is abnormal about this. But to me, this just feels very inappropriate. So is there drug history with this family, or?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe there was drug use around the family, the children. To be very clear, I know nothing about this case, Geraldine, and I messaged back and forth maybe 30 minutes this morning. I just asked a few questions of what I was getting. I really wanted to see if I felt that Summer was still living or not. I did get very highly sexualized in this family. It just felt inappropriate for the age group. It was just something about this child being sexualized. Geraldine, do you know if you can confirm that or not?
Yes, yeah, like there's things out on the internet that they talk about some things in the family that were like that, where
it feels highly inappropriate, especially for that age.
Yes.
Me, I'm getting, I don't know, like everybody feels very minor child. Like maybe the oldest is 14, and I don't even believe that to be true. And this is just highly inappropriate behavior,
right?
Or what the child assessment that this is unusual. I think they would probably argue that point, that it is absolute. This is normal. Nobody. So to me, that just means kind of like a history of abuse, or or that, when you're in your family and your family is very normal to you, then you go out in the world and it's like, oh, not everyone is like us. Feels like everyone about this family, every generation kind of is just dysfunctional. It just feels very dysfunctional. I just don't feel stability with this. None of it feels stability. I'm getting incarceration. But this feels past as well too. Okay. So I'm gonna try and focus on, so Carolyn, you said June 15th.
Yeah, June 15th of last year.
I'm gonna try to focus around that time period. Unfortunately, I do not feel the little girl is still a date that just doesn't feel right, or maybe pushed. I'm not as strong as I'd like to be on this, but I would not be surprised if something happened like June 14th. It's just inappropriate sexuality. This feels very uncomfortable to me. I almost feel like maybe there was some injury that occurred around this. I have heard of parents having shaken baby syndrome. I don't think she was shaken baby, obviously, at 5, but they would blame the accident or incident on something else. This kind of feels like that. All right, I do think she's in spirit. Shoot. Okay. So I'm going to work backwards a little bit from this. This feels like it occurred in or around the home. I'm just getting accident. This does not feel purpose driven to me. It's like something that maybe would have happened 500 times in a row. And again, I'm going with inappropriate on this. Feels like this last time that it happened, maybe there was too much weight on me, or maybe somebody had their hand over their mouth like this or something. Maybe my neck got turned. I'm just feeling this feels very sudden to me. I don't feel an exaggeratedly long amount of time that it would have been suffering. I can't even say that, because what's happening to her, just again, I will use the word inappropriate. Use your imaginations on this. It just feels like there was abuse that occurred historically with this child. Maybe it become normalized. Maybe she disassociated it from it in some way. But I'm like, it went wrong. There's rough housing, rough playing, but that feels very typical. When I see this little girl, she's almost like waif size to me, like failure to thrive sense that I'm getting. She seemed underweight, undersized, something like that. And there was something with like clumps of hair missing. There's something like this, but it feels like a joke or a punishment, not something that she just feels very feminine. So I don't know if she pulled her hair out. I don't know, but it's like clumps of hair missing. There's shame, and that was used to shame her. She's such a happy little girl. Like, I just want to be positive, love me, like me type thing. And I just think whatever attention she got was the attention that she went after. But is there something with the hair?
Yeah, like the mom always said, it's like the missing poster. She's in this cute little red dress with her hair right underneath her chin. And then there's also pictures of her where her hair is super short, where it was buzzed. And from what her mom was saying in an open interview that is on the internet, okay, that because the mom would shave her head and the boys in the family had their head shaved, that Summer wanted this as well.
No, to me, it almost feels like mocking her. Oh, how about my haircut too? And it's like, whatever was done. This is not because she's showing me crying. I feel tears in my eyes. Like, I'm trying not to cry, because I don't think crying it feels like an act of weakness. You'd be mocked or shamed in that family. Like, don't cry. This feels very protective of her, but she is showing me like tears welling up. She just looks very tiny to me, very, underweight for age, very thin. So I don't know, food was withheld on a regular basis, or there just wasn't food, or things were parsed out. It almost feels like subsistence living is what it feels like. Is there a lot of poverty in it? Not that
I
it matters, but it just feels like this is a very poverty laden area. So I am going to transplant that onto the home as well too.
yes, the home, it was
Almost feels that feels ramshackled. Sorry for interrupting. Like it's a
no, it's
mismatch
okay.
here, like a roof doesn't match, and like it's like maybe floors
Yes.
are not even. Like it's like building pieces. Honestly, it looks like things were just added on or built on when we needed more room. There's just not a lot of. This doesn't feel like a home in a subdivision. I'm saying I'm not sure why she's focusing so much on that. Is there water near this house? Like a pond, lake,
Yes.
something, swimming
Yes.
hole, something like this? Um, Within a mile or two or a couple
Um,
of miles?
yeah.
Okay. Uh, this is bizarre, the things that I'm getting, and I don't know the importance or if there is any of it, but it's almost like maybe the home didn't always have running water. Maybe the electricity wasn't always on. This feels like an unsafe place for a child to me. Um, okay, that's a judgment call on my part. I'm not making a judgment on anyone else's life choices, but the family doesn't feel supportive or cohesive in any of this. So she showed me land. Like I just feel there's land, like wide open spaces. I'm not seeing other houses. I'm wondering where playmates are, and I'm assuming they've got to be siblings, cousins, nieces. I don't know.
Yes.
Just like this would be whoever's out and around. There's lots of screaming in this house, lots of loud noise, like everything. Television's on high decimal. It's just chaos. I mean, people sitting on a floor sometimes. Like I don't know what the furniture situation here, but it feels very sparse, to say the least. Um, the bed. Let's go to the bed. Something there's not a bed. There's not a bed. Um, Something with a bed. Okay. I don't think she's on this property. I no longer think she's on the property, although I think whatever happened to her happened on this property around the water that she showed me, because there was a kind of an effort on her part to focus on water. But again, accident, accident, accident. It's like I just can't breathe. So I don't know if it was something with the neck, or like she's just kind of showing me her head pressed to the floor and like something over her. Is this make any sense? Or we're not going to be able to validate that. She's not been recovered,
Well,
right?
the water makes sense because they're in the timeline of what the mother gave. There is a video. Okay. I don't know how much you want me to go through the
I prefer just
timeline.
if you can tell me
Yeah, I'm
if
just going to
what
tell you
are
about this place. Okay. So according to the video that was shown, according to the mom that day, there was this portion in the swimming hole. That's what they called it, a swimming hole.
okay.
And she's in the
They're
water and you
like
can
out in the
see.
woods, kind of, or like is the swimming area not in a very populated area either?
You know what? I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
I think it is not in a like a
Yeah, but
very populated
to me, it
area.
feels like the only way you're going to know about this place is if you live there. If you've grown up there, it's not like a city swimming pool, isn't that's not what I'm getting?
No. And the thing is like we would look at it, it was one thing like a lake or something, but they don't call it that there. They
Okay,
call it a swimming hole, you know?
okay,
So,
okay. But like there's green around there, so I don't know if a tree is leaning over and kids could jump
yes,
out of the tree onto this. Like this is feels very country rural.
yes.
Um, it's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and this is hot, and I'm hearing like cicadas, things like that. Like this is just a regular day. I wonder if something didn't happen there. So there are brothers.
Yes.
She just keeps going accident, accident, accident. She's not on the land. She's not. Has the home been searched?
Yeah,
I
oh
would
yeah.
assume. I would
I'm
assume,
sure that
right?
the cops went in there. They got a bunch of stuff. I think that
Because
they had two
land and
dogs come
property has
in.
been searched. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like that's where she is. Because now the little girl showing me people on four wheelers, quads, things like that.
Yes.
Just be looking. Lots of dogs. She's just showing me dogs. And there's dogs. I love this because I love my dogs. Like I just hear dogs everywhere, but these are like I don't know if they're pets. Like they're pets. Like because I know these dogs. Like there's
Do you
lots of
want me to
maybe
answer
wild
that?
dogs. No, no,
Because
no.
it's
Let me just
because
get through
it's
something.
crazy you just said that.
But like, look, and it's like these dogs may not even have a bowl. Like if there's leftover food, I'm throwing this out. It's kind of so it's like that kind of thing with the dogs. So she's just showing me dogs all around, like the dogs would have barked. Somebody would have noticed this, she said.
Yes.
Okay. So like this whatever was told to law enforcement, BS. I'm gonna try real hard not to curse about this. Like it just feels totally made up, fabricated. There's someone else involved. There's an older female. Was she with mom that day?
Yeah, she was with mom that day.
There's another female. There's like a grandmother, aunt, something like this.
Yeah,
She's like there's another older female there that I
it's
talked
her
to. But this
grandmother.
woman is like not not like a warm, cuddly kind of here, let me nurture you that I would think of that person to be. Like it's kind of like the mom, like very harsh, succinct, like crass. Like there's laughing at misfortune of others. Oh, this is so messed up. Am I right on that?
Yes.
That you're aware of these people chain smoke again, not complaining, but like I just feel lots of like nothing about this feels healthy or supportive. So again, I go back to this does not feel like a great environment for children. The little girl is going, the story wasn't true. So I don't know what that means. So to me, I'm getting this happened maybe somewhere else. But again, don't know what the water hole has to do with it. I think her remains are not on the family property. This is a big space, she's saying. And she can walk to these places. I do not believe there's an outhouse, but like this is the kind of visual that I'm getting. Like it would be like that. She showed me she can walk to these places, but it feels like I'm on this not flat, but kind of mountainy terrain where like things might have a little lookout here. Um, People would have seen her, she said. If this was true, people would have seen me. I've got no clue what that means. And the dogs seem important to this some way. I'd search around the lake. I'd search, and now she's showing me dirt roads. Are there dirt roads around here, like red dirt?
You know what? I'm not
It's like
sure.
clay. It actually looks like clay to me, like this red dirt. Like if I'm driving in my car, there's going to be lots of dust kicked up around this. There's lots of trees. This is not a populated area. But again, if you live in that area, you'd know this area. I'm just getting her in a vehicle. Almost feels like an old Jeep Grand Cherokee. I don't think it is, but like that's what it feels like to me. Because there's an area where you can lay down in the back in those.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wore seat belts. This feels like an older vehicle to me. Just looks like she's sleeping, but I'm just getting something in this area, head next. I don't know if she hit her head was hit, throat strangled, drowned. I don't know what this is that I'm getting, but I do feel this child is deceased. I think the mom absolutely knows, whoever this older female is. She certainly knows because I feel like we got to keep the secret. Like we can't tell anybody. So everything that I get is not admissible in a court of law. I will just say that. I'm an evidential medium. So for me, I like things that we can go yes, no, or maybe to. So I don't know how we get that information on this. Geraldine, does the mom have a criminal history as well?
Yes.
So this is where she's kind of focusing, although I don't know the dad's blameless in any of this because I do feel very, very, very inappropriate behavior going on in that home that I think maybe if it wasn't a blind eye, nobody cared. This was just so normal. Normalized this hypersexuality. It just feels very normalized, but the little girl, not the victim with her. It's the poverty with this. Those two do not always go hand in hand and rarely do, but these are just the images that she's showing me. So I do feel now she's kind of showing me a bigger tree, which would be very challenging to find in the area that she showed me. So I'd like to get on Google Earth at some point in the next day or two and see if I can kind of pinpoint where this is that she's showing me. Were there no shoe? Was something with the shoes? Were there no shoes missing?
Oh, the shoes, I don't know.
Like, I think if somebody were to go, well, how many pairs of shoes do you have? Are any of them missing? Like, there's no shoes missing. How random is that? But something with the shoes. It feels important to this. Like, I couldn't have run off. Oh, was it said she ran off?
Yeah.
Was there some thought that she ran off? Like, she couldn't have run off. Like, where were the shoes? And although she's got tough feet, and I don't think stepping on a rock or a briar would particularly injure her, she just told me that wasn't possible. I don't feel she was abducted. I don't, I just don't feel any of that. Like, I would say, to me, this feels family involvement, or I would say that someone she knew in a very intimate way would have something more to do this. I'm getting kind of like just the cruelty, and I don't know if there's physical abuse, but to me, it just feels like being mean. Like, people are not nice to each other in this family. So I don't know if there's domestic violence stuff. It just feels like these people are not kind to each other. They got lots of chaos, lots of crazy, and she truly feels like she would just witness this all of the time. This just feels like normal. So when I can leave this place, it feels lighter, unless I'm leaving with the people that are always yelling and screaming. So that's not great. Is it assumed that she is deceased, or do you know?
I don't know if that's such a big question mark on
Okay.
this. It's like, was she abducted? Was she
I do
killed?
not. I don't feel. I
Yeah.
don't feel that she could have been abducted at all. I don't know if mom didn't work, or if there was whoever this older lady is kind of there. I just think with a rural area that she's showing me, and so isolated. That's the better word to use. Isolated.
Yes. Yes.
How do you get there? So I think you could walk. Is there woods?
Yes.
I think maybe you could walk through the woods, but like, the dogs are going to hear you, or the people are like, it just feels, because I'm not seeing security system, but it does feel like you kind of noticed. Wait, so she's showing me somebody like voyeuristically in the woods, male, can't pinpoint an age on this, but it's not current. It doesn't feel contemporary. Are there other family members that live close by to this area?
I'm not sure about like other family members.
I just
I will.
feel family would have maybe kind of been localized, and I don't know all my family, but I'm feeling, or maybe people call, oh, that's your uncle, and maybe it's not the uncle, that's your cousin. I don't know, but I'm just getting there. People that would have been referred to, he's like cousin, uncle, something like this, that would have been in close proximity. This guy, the man that she's showing me in the woods, this is interesting, but again, I do not feel this has anything to do. Wait. I'm going to go focus on this male that she's showing me. I don't know that there's a connection with her at this point, but she's focusing on it. This age is going to be tough, but I'm going to go under 45. I probably want to go closer to 35, but I'm giving myself a little gap there. I think he's got a sexual criminal history. So I don't know, indecent exposure, molestation, probably. What state did you say this was in?
I didn't tell you, but this is Tennessee.
Oh, so the only reason why I'm asking is in most states have a database of sexual offenders. I know any place where I have lived, like you can look online and see sexual offenders. So that might be an area where I want to focus too, just to see the connection that she's showing me. But this feels like somebody that's going to have that kind of. She's just showing me watching. Wait, so I'm standing in the front of the yard looking at this house. It's off in the woods. Like, there's an opening. This person's off in the woods. He's touching himself, and it probably it's voyeuristic, something with this. The older lady knows this guy. The mom knows this guy too. Is there a grandparent or something that lives like? Is this family like that?
The grandmother lives on the property in a trailer, her own separate like little trailer from the house.
Does the grandmother have other children? So does the grandmother have more than just whatever child this is?
You know what? I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure if like any.
Okay. I don't know that there's a familial relationship here, but it feels like it would perhaps. And again, I'm not accusing anybody. This is just the information I'm getting. I'd like to do more research on what I'm getting now that I'm doing this. We don't, I will speak for myself. I know I cannot speak for Geraldine on this because she's the one that gives me these cases. I know nothing about this going in. What time was it last night when you asked me? And I'm in California. So it was probably 7 or 8 my time. So I don't know what time it was. I'm thinking probably at least 2 or 3 hours ahead.
It was probably like nine my time, 7 yours.
So I have had no information on this, went to sleep, got up at 7 this morning and began to kind of just see what I could get. So this is not, I don't feel the person that she's showing me had anything to do with this event, but I do feel again that inappropriate behavior. I will do some own personal research on this, see if I'm incorrect or wrong, which I would love to be on this. So at this point, I do not feel that she is still alive. I do not feel that her physical body is within 4 or 5 miles of the home. Please don't use that number. It just feels like whatever. Is this like a lot of land?
Yeah.
So on that land, I don't think this child is on the land. So whatever land the family had, I don't think it's on that land. God, she showed me porn and things like that in the home, but this is just not. This is not good. This family just has a lot of historic abuse. It just feels like this is kind of their normal. Don't feel that she's there. The water seems to be important. This place where I'd swim with the trees. It's not mud, but it's not there. There's not a swimming pool here. And again, the red dirt that she shows me being kicked up, like clay. It almost feels like clay. I'd be interested to know if there's red clay in that area or dirt that looks.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about at the swimming pool?
Yeah, leaving there or around that area. So maybe the whole town. Weird. Yeah. There would be red clay in it. I don't know, but it's it's not black dirt. She's not showing me. It might be brown, but yeah, to me it feels like an orange color that she's showing me.
More reddish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's. But then I'm on this road that I don't think 2 cars could pass at the same time, or if they could, it'd be a tight squeeze. I feel like rocks would be kicked up, lots of dust. So I think that seems to be important here. I do think law enforcement is very actively involved. So even if they're not saying anything, I think they're continuing. This feels very active with law enforcement at this point still. So maybe state agencies, FBI, things like that. I don't know, the FBI. I just feel this is bigger than local police. Yeah. And there's something with the shoes, shoes missing, shoes not found. People have been back to this location where this occurred several times. I don't know if they cleaned up anything. What's to clean up? Like a cup, socks. She left her socks, or her socks were left there. So maybe this happened by the water. Were there other people there with her? Were there any siblings there or older male?
Yes.
Relatives?
Mom is friends with someone, her son.
Okay. Again, I would really want to look at that a little bit more carefully. Unfortunately, I do not hold out a great deal of hope that she will be recovered alive. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Geraldine, is there anything else you want to ask or anything that would be important for me to look for or look at?
Well, I mean, no. Obviously,
I'm interrupting this
go ahead.
Because I feel like if these parents seem so much bickering that it's almost like if either of them felt that they had something on the other, I'd have thrown it out by now. I just feel like the loose lips. There's not a lot of thought into what's being said. It feels very reactive. They feel very reactive. I mean, just lots of chaos. Maybe there's some, I don't want to go addiction, but there does feel to be substances involved in this. So I just, again, not with that stability. So I think if somebody, they know this person. Okay. All right. I'm so sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I do want to tell you about the dogs though, because it totally tripped me out when you said that. Okay. But people will drop their dogs off. Just if they don't want the dog anymore, they'll literally drop it off at this house. And they have 40 dogs running around this property.
See, that so actually in reality is my dream scenario, but I think I would take very good care of these dogs. She's just showing me dogs here. It's almost like this pack of dogs or these wild dogs. It's like if I
everybody,
bone, they would tear into it.
everybody says that though. Like if an abductor came up, those dogs are barking.
I didn't even think of that. To me, it was just like there's dogs everywhere. I feel like they'd be licking me, but that's my experience with dogs. It's probably not everybody. Like, it's just like somebody would have followed her. The dog, like, I just think, even if they're not pets that you sleep with every night or that you've got a good routine with, they're going to follow this little girl. None of them followed her. And like, I could feel like dogs of some sort could locate her if she was on that property. They're not there. She's not there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I think I'm going to do, Geraldine, is take a little bit, several hours probably. I'm going to look up now that, do you feel that I got some accurate information? Let me ask that first.
Oh, for sure. And another thing I wanted to do, because you said, another thing I wanted to say was she said that the story was not correct. Like you were like, I don't know what that means, but her mom made up this whole timeline of that day. Of June 15, 2021. It was like they were out the whole day.
I don't know that it happened that day. I just am going back to this might happen. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Like if somebody were to say mom was cleaning the house, I'd be like, lie. Or like that would be easily disproved, or getting my hair done. Probably not true. Getting my nails, like these things don't. Whatever the story is.
And then the story changed though, because it was like one thing at first, and then I think the mom kind of got backlash, and then they started doing all these interviews and all these podcasts, and so things have changed. So everyone's like, "What is it?" So obviously, the timeline's not
the sense that I'm getting, and I don't need to know. I think the less I know is probably better. Whatever the story is that whichever parent gave, just feels so ludicrous for this home, ludicrous for this situation. It's like ridiculous. It would be if somebody asked me when I was climbing Mount Everest. Whatever this woman said she was doing, or the dad, it was like, shouldn't do stuff like that. Like that just doesn't happen. So that's really the sense that I'm getting with that.
Okay. So, makes sense.
Yeah, I will look and see. I think you said Tennessee.
Yeah, they're in Rogersville, Tennessee.
So I will look and see, just like sexual offender. Do you know what county that is?
Oh, Rogersville? No, I don't know.
So maybe there's a list. Everybody feels in this local area. I'm not seeing people driving in from 100 miles, 200, like everything feels very localized.
I think I think the police did look into this because they, in the beginning of this, everyone was like, what happened? Was she abducted? Was it, a family member? Was it whatever? So I think that the cops did look at other people like the SA offenders, in the area.
What's that mean?
Sexual offenders in the area.
Sorry.
So,
but I feel like if I were to look at like the webs, Arizona has a database of sexual.
Oh yeah, the database.
It's like that. So I would want to look at the county because it feels like these people all know each other. Like this feels very, again, country, not in a bad way, but just like everybody seems like they know each other forever. So if you couldn't have a stranger in the town without 1,000 people going, oh my God, did you see that car driving down? It feels like that to me.
Yeah.
So like this could be somebody on the outside, almost impossible. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Good.
All right. I hope this was helpful. I'll see what I can get. Maybe we'll do a second video to this. And thanks everybody for watching. I hope if you've got any comments or suggestions, please let us know. Probably be doing 1 or 2 of these cases a month. Hopefully we will really be able to recover this little girl though. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye guys.
Bye-bye.